Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me for this weather app cast here on our weather app. We're going to give it a couple more minutes so that people can hop on the app cast, but I will be back within 2 minutes. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm KSAT meteorologist Sarah Spivey. Hey, I was wondering if I'm talking to the guys in the back here. I don't think the Q scripts is flipped over, so if you could do that, that would be great. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us for this appcast. We are going to be talking about this very cold air moving overhead. Take a look at temperatures right now. It's 29 in San Antonio. Thanks, Ralph. He's setting up so I can see myself on the green screen here. You're joining us for this appcast. We are this is a capability that we have here, able to come right to your phone and give you an updates. Today's a great day to do that because there's no real dangerous weather at the moment. It's just something that, oh, could I see myself there at the top there, Ralph? Thank you so much. Talking to Ralph. Say hi, Ralph.
Hello.
There he goes. Okay. Yeah, we're seeing some colder air moving in from the north here. Very cold air. It's only 2 degrees in Amarillo, Texas. Not fun there. 13 in Dallas, 25 in Austin, 10 in Abilene, and it's 29 here in San Antonio. Front has yet to move through Brownsville, and so as you can see, there's a huge temperature difference. 2 degrees in Amarillo, 66 in Brownsville. Front has just moved through Corpus Christi. Temperatures dropping into the 40s there. Of course, we got a stout wind from the north, and so that's added on to a wind chill too. So I want to give you a quick rundown of what we expect within the next 72 hours here, the next 3 days. Basically, today is just going to be colder. We're going to have temperatures right in the 30s with wind chills in the 20s, and it's going to be breezy all day. Then tonight into tomorrow, that's when I expect some freezing drizzle and some light rain to develop, light freezing rain to develop. And that would create an icy glaze on bridges and overpasses, things like that. I do not anticipate what we had about a year ago with some very heavy freezing rain. It ended up snapping tree branches, and as a result of that, breaking power lines, all of those things. This is not going to be that high of an impact event. In fact, the greatest impact to your day, maybe you'll have to be a little careful on those bridges and overpasses, or maybe TxDOT might shut them down in some cases if they do have a little bit of ice on them. So you'll just want to be careful if you have to drive out and about tomorrow. Big day tomorrow, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. There's a big march going on around the city. So a morning light glaze on those bridges and overpasses, and wind chill values will be in the teens on Monday morning. I'm going to show you some impressive wind chills throughout this appcast as we're chatting about the weather. And then Tuesday and Wednesday morning, I expect a hard freeze in the morning. Temperatures in the low 20s, upper teens. And on Tuesday morning, wind chills will be some of the coldest we have seen since that February 2021 winter storm. We'll have wind chills in the single digits potentially on Tuesday morning. Speaking of the February 2021 winter storm, I want to put your mind at ease a little bit. This is going to be a walk in the park, a piece of cake compared to that event. I know there's a lot of panic buying going on, things like that. Of course, I mean, you want to be safe, you want to be secure, but I just do not anticipate as big of an event as it was back in 2021. Back in 2021, we spent 107 hours straight below freezing in the city of San Antonio. This time, this go around, from Sunday to Wednesday, at most in parts of northern and northeastern San Antonio, we could be at 72 hours below freezing. That's still pretty significant. That's why we've taken our freeze precautions. Make sure that your pipes are dripping and covered and all of that stuff. That's why we take those freeze precautions, but it's not going to be nothing compared to the 107 hours straight back in February of 2021. We also had crippling ice and snow, shut down San Antonio, shut down the whole city, the whole state. And in comparison, this time around, we're just going to have light freezing rain Sunday night into Monday morning. We get these events just about every year in San Antonio, these very light icing events. That is normal. And as far as cold goes, back in 2021, we got down to 9 degrees. The coldest I'm forecasting in San Antonio is about 19. Now, it'll be colder than that in the hill country, but it was colder than that back in 2021 as well. So again, not going to be as devastating as that winter storm was in 2021. This is a hiccup in the forecast over the next 3 days, and something that, again, is not even going to have as much of an impact as that ice storm did a year ago for us in San Antonio. But it's still cold. It's still very cold outside. As we take a look at temperatures right now in San Antonio, it's 29, 25 in Bulverde, 26 in Bandera, 23 in Kerrville. It's 31 at Stinson. So Stinson, Port SA finally starting to dip below freezing. The coldest part of the air is coming in from the northeast here. So areas north and east of San Antonio have gotten to freezing before San Antonio. That's why in Pleasanton and Hondo it's still above freezing. But temperatures will probably dip to freezing there here very shortly. And then, of course, the wind chill just makes it feel a lot colder than that. We're dealing with winds from the northeast at about 10 to 15. So we've got wind chill values generally in the teens. Around San Antonio, low 20s. Okay, as I showed you those temperatures here, let's take a wider view across the state of Texas again. Single digits in the Panhandle, 13 in Dallas. Showed you those wind chill values. Take a look at them across the state of Texas. Very cold. Feels like it's 3 below in Dallas-Fort Worth. That doesn't happen all that often in Dallas-Fort Worth. Feels like it's 12 below in Amarillo. And then it gets even more dramatic the further north you go. You might have heard that they postponed that Bills-Steelers game out in Buffalo because of the snow and the cold air. Kept it going in Kansas City, where wind chill values were at 20 below. But take a look at that. Bismarck, North Dakota, wind chill values 43 below zero. Very cold Arctic air. It's going to continue to send us cold shots of air as well throughout the next couple of days, and including today. So I'll walk you through today's forecast. Again, temperatures will basically just be in the 30s, around 34 for the high temperature today, but those wind chills are going to be in the 20s. Northeast winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. As we head into this evening, temperatures are going to get even colder. We'll be back to freezing by 7 o'clock when wind chills are in the low 20s. And then it's after 7 o'clock that we will probably see freezing drizzle around San Antonio. And even today, as you're out and about, you may still see a little bit of drizzle, but it isn't until this evening that it might start sticking on those elevated surfaces. Again, after 9 p.m., freezing drizzle is possible. By 11 p.m., we'll be in the upper 20s. That's our temperature. Our wind chills are probably going to be in the teens by 11 p.m. And that freezing drizzle will start. So let me take you through the future cast. This is a look at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning. So overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. I know this looks like a lot, but it's not going to amount to much, okay? We're just going to have freezing drizzle, freezing light rain. Elevated surfaces will likely get a glaze of ice on them. Not only bridges and overpasses, but also if your car is parked outside, if your grill, all those things, the metal signs, your patio furniture, your patio itself may get a light glazing of ice on it. Notice that everyone around the San Antonio metro area has this potential. Bandera, Kerrville, Boerne, Canyon Lake, New Braunfels, Seguin, Floresville, Pleasanton, Hondo, Pearsall. Out east toward Gonzales, Hallettsville, Cuero, Carson City. Everyone has that potential around the San Antonio metro area and points east to see that very brief, very light rather, freezing drizzle and freezing light rain. Not so much the case out west. In fact, out west tomorrow, temperatures will likely get up into the low 40s, Uvalde, Del Rio. But in San Antonio, we're going to struggle to get above freezing in San Antonio. Our afternoon high tomorrow will be 33 degrees. There will be neighborhoods around San Antonio that do not get above freezing. And pardon me, as you can see, This particular model allows for New Braunfels, Seguin, Gonzales, Floresville, Bernie, Kerrville, all to stay below freezing from pretty much tonight through tomorrow into Tuesday afternoon. So it's those areas that could stay below freezing for up to 72 hours. Again, that's why we've taken those freeze precautions with the pipes and the plants. I'm looking at radar right now. There's not much to see. Anything you see here right now, you might see some faint pinks and blues. That's basically just some ground clutter that's closer to the radar, which is at New Braunfels. But the reason I want to bring this up is because on this radar, we have a feature where I can show you why bridges and overpasses tend to freeze first. Because again, that's what we would be concerned about early tomorrow morning, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, is the elevated surfaces. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to play a video here. So imagine there's some colder air moving in, which there is. On the roads, the temperature is going to, on the roads on the ground, the temperature is going to be closer to the ground temperature, which is often warmer than the bridge temperature. Bridges allow for the colder air to come underneath them, and that's why they freeze first and become icy. So bridges, overpasses, those kinds of things are the things that freeze first. And oftentimes, this could create a black ice situation where the ice is so thin that you can't see it. And so that's why you got to be careful if you do have to drive late tonight, early tomorrow, to use extra caution on the bridges and overpasses. And if you can avoid them, there's lots of frontage roads around there. If you can avoid them, please do so, just in case. Oftentimes, TxDOT will often shut down bridges and overpasses, even if they don't really have any ice on them in many different ways. So that's a look at the radar and why bridges and overpasses freeze first. Let's talk about which areas around South Central Texas have the potential for those minor impacts of bridges and overpasses being having a little bit of ice. Anywhere you see this light pink color, that's where we can see minor winter impacts from the ice. Notice not the case for Del Rio, Eagle Pass, but pretty much any location east of that, including San Antonio, has the potential here for some of that patchy mist and drizzle. It's going to be interesting to see where it sets up. Drizzle, mist, one of those things that's very difficult to see on the radar, very difficult to, other than predicting the conditions for drizzle and mist, difficult to know exactly where a band would set up. It's going to be something that's going to be interesting to see. So please continue to check back in with us. If you're joining us on the app, this is a great place to be. We can go live right to your phone. It's pretty awesome. Also, at the bottom of your screen, if you're on our app, is a camera icon that's called KSAT Connect, and you can send in pictures. Maybe your patio furniture will have a little bit of ice on it. Maybe your grill will have a little bit of ice on it. Send those in. We'd love to see them. You can help be our eyes on the ground during this event. Moderate impacts, rather, from ice would be located up near Tyler, Texas, Shreveport, pretty much northeast Texas and northern Louisiana. That's where we have winter storm warnings in effect. A warning is greater than a watch, and it's greater in some cases than an advisory. And we have a winter weather advisory across San Antonio, up to Dallas, out toward Houston, and out toward New Orleans, and down into the valley as well. And that winter weather advisory is because of the risk of a light glazing of ice from 6 p.m. tonight to noon Monday. Again, by noon Monday, all of the precipitation is going to be gone. Something we don't see that often here in San Antonio in the Hill Country is a wind chill advisory. That's in effect too, because wind chills are going to be much colder than the temperature. I mean, you just saw out there right now we're in the upper 20s, but wind chills are in the teens in San Antonio. And by tomorrow morning, wind chills will be in the teens as well. All right, let's talk for a moment here about which locations have the chance to be below freezing for a longer period of time. Oftentimes with these systems, it's mainly just the Hill Country that has a greater chance of being below freezing for a longer time because of the higher elevations. But in this case, that extends out east too. At most around San Antonio, most folks around San Antonio will spend at most 48 hours below freezing, and south of San Antonio, out toward Del Rio, at most 36 hours below freezing. Closer view around the Alamo City, some neighborhoods like Stone Oak, Leon Springs, Bulverde, Timberwood Park, Canyon Lake, New Braunfels, Bernie, Bandera, Kerrville. Those are the areas that could spend up to 72 hours below freezing. Around most of San Antonio, it's going to be 48 hours, and south of that, about 36 hours at most. Let's talk more about the wind chill and some of the coldest air we're going to feel. Now, Tuesday morning, our low is forecast at 21 degrees Tuesday morning, so very cold, teens in the hill country. But because it's still going to be windy, Tuesday morning is going to be our coldest morning. Even though temperatures are going to be colder than this on Wednesday morning, Tuesday morning, because of the winds, going to feel like it's the coldest. I'm going to step away so that you can see just how cold those wind chills are forecast to be on Tuesday morning. This is even cold for areas well north of San Antonio. Wind chill values at 5 below in Comfort, 3 below in Bandera, 2 degrees in Seguin, 4 in San Antonio. Single-digit wind chills are possible at 7 a.m. Tuesday. What's happening at 7 a.m. Tuesday? Well, no ice. We won't be seeing any ice on at 7 a.m. on Tuesday. So kids are probably going to be going back to school on Tuesday morning. So if you have kids that wait for the bus stop, maybe consider taking them to school. Or if you can't, just definitely bundle them up because it is going to be very cold as they wait for that bus on Tuesday morning. Let's sum up the next 3 days in this simple graphic. Today, pretty much just cold. Yeah, we're going to get up to 34 degrees, wind chill all day in the 20s. Then tonight, that icy glaze on bridges and overpasses and elevated surfaces expected from freezing drizzle, freezing light rain. We'll get down to 25 degrees by the start of the day tomorrow. Tomorrow, a holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So if you're planning on going to the march, and a lot of people are, just bundle up. It's going to be very cold with morning wind chills in the teens, and don't drive on those bridges and overpasses if you can avoid it. Otherwise, struggling to get above freezing tomorrow, 33 degrees. We may well stay below freezing, which is why we'd have 48 hours from Sunday midday, potentially through Tuesday midday, below freezing in San Antonio. Tuesday morning, we'll get down to 21 degrees with a wind chill in the single digits, like I just showed you, with a high of 35. And we will see some sun on Tuesday. Then by Wednesday morning, it's going to be another cold one, technically colder than Tuesday morning, but we won't have as much of a wind chill, so it could actually feel warmer on Wednesday morning. We'll finally get well above freezing on Wednesday afternoon, 45. That's still cold, but it is a lot better than the last several days that we will have had. And then by Thursday, we'll be at 64. Another front moves through Thursday into Friday, and this is going to set up chilly weather for the weekend ahead. We might even get a hard freeze on Saturday morning as well, but it's not going to be anything compared to what we've been dealing with today, tomorrow, next day. So enjoy that Thursday forecast of 64 degrees. Otherwise, this has been a Napcast. This is what we do just about every single time there's an inconvenient or otherwise, maybe a severe weather situation. We can hop right on your phone, right on ksat.com, right on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, what's up? And we give you the forecast and what a forecast it's going to be. Later on, KSAT meteorologist Mia Montgomery will be in to fill you in on an updated forecast. And wind chills are in the teens out there. Everyone stay warm. I'm KSAT meteorologist Sarah Spivey. Have a great day.